Reuben Cantu, State, Texas, executed in 1993 by lethal injection. Reuben Montoya Cantu was 17 years old when he was convicted of the 1984 murder of Pedro Gomez during a robbery in San Antonio, Texas. His case became one of the most controversial death penalty cases in the United States, particularly after new evidence and recantations raised doubts about his guilt. Cantu was executed in 1993, but years later, key evidence emerged suggesting he may have been innocent. His case challenges us to consider the fallibility of the justice system, especially when it comes to executing individuals based on questionable evidence. In 1984, Pedro Gomez was shot and killed during a robbery in San Antonio, Texas. Reuben Cantu was arrested after being implicated by a witness who later admitted that their testimony had been unreliable. Cantu was convicted based on this shaky eyewitness account, and the case seemed straightforward at the time. However, there was no physical evidence linking Cantu to the crime, and the prosecution's case relied heavily on witness testimony, which was later proven to be flawed. Cantu's defense argued that he was wrongfully convicted due to the lack of substantial evidence and the questionable nature of the witness testimony. Additionally, there were concerns about the fairness of his trial, particularly because the prosecution failed to disclose exculpatory evidence that could have proven Cantu's innocence. Cantu's trial was brief, and his defense failed to fully investigate the evidence or question the reliability of the witnesses. Despite his young age and lack of a strong defense, Cantu was sentenced to death in 1985. His case remained controversial, with many people raising concerns about the fairness of the trial and the potential for a miscarriage of justice. Cantu's appeals for a new trial were rejected, and in 1993 he was executed by lethal injection. Years later, in 2008, new DNA evidence and the recantation of key witnesses led to the conclusion that Cantu may have been innocent. His case became a tragic example of the irreversible consequences of a death penalty conviction based on unreliable testimony and questionable evidence. Reuben Cantu's last words were simple yet poignant: "I am innocent and I didn't kill anybody." His statement reflected a strong sense of injustice, as he maintained his innocence until the very end. For his final meal, Cantu requested a simple meal of steak, fries, and a Coke, a modest request that contrasted sharply with the weight of his situation. His final meal, much like his last words, reflected a sense of dignity in the face of an unjust death sentence, adding a layer of emotional depth to his story.